Well, hi everybody. This is a next episode on A Higher Love. The title of today's conversation is From Fear to True Identity. From fear to true identity. And this thought really came to mind yesterday. And I wanted to talk about it. I recorded it yesterday, but I didn't audibly, but I didn't. I decided to record it, where you can see me. And so, if you have any questions, you guys know how to reach me at ahigherlove@canyonite.com. You can email me there. But let's get started, y'all. So there's a few segments that I will be talking about. And the first one is the identity you built versus the identity you were given. Now, today's episode, there's something I've been sitting with, and it's been sitting with me for a long time. Actually, longer than I've even realized. Not the loud kind of fear that I've been dealing with, not the kind that announces itself, but the quiet kind, the kind that disguises itself as who you think you are. Now, that is really the kind of fear that I'm talking about and how it relates to my former identity. And many of our identity, which I'm going to talk to you today about, is rooted in fear. I used to believe I knew myself for a very long time. I had an identity that felt solid, grounded, and even strong. I told myself that who I am, that this is who I am. But what I didn't realize was that so much of who I thought I was actually built from fear. So, what is identity really? Identity is powerful. It shapes how we were raised. Identity is what we were taught. Identity is what we experience as children. Identity is what we had to do to survive. And let me be clear, there's nothing wrong, inherently wrong with that. But here's where it gets complicated. That identity, the one built in survival, often becomes the lens through which we see everything. I think that deserves pausing. The identity, the one built in survival, that we don't even know is survival many times, this often becomes the lens through which we see everything. How we love, how we receive, how we protect ourselves, how we respond to life. And when fear is underneath it, everything gets filtered through that fear. That's hard. The next part I want to shift to is when identity is rooted in fear. When identity is rooted in fear. I had to come to terms with something real. A lot of what I thought was self-respect was actually defense. And a lot of what I thought was strength was actually guarding. A lot of what I thought was loving myself was actually me trying to stay safe. Safe from love, safe from disappointment, safe from not having control. I was afraid of life, afraid of love, afraid of money, afraid of, losing it all. So I built an identity that I didn't quite know or understood, but rather something that I created unconsciously because that was the realm and consciousness in which I lived under and believe. And so this identity based out of that lens, based out of that state of consciousness, based out of those experiences and in my environment and what I was told of who I was and all the things that I mentioned before that shaped this identity. I would say these things to myself on an unconscious level and even a conscious level. We don't do this. This is my identity. We don't do this. We don't accept that. We grind. We make it happen. We don't slow down long enough to listen. And I know for a fact that I really didn't know that I was saying this to myself. It was just what it was. I didn't have a moment of pausing. I didn't have a moment of recognizing that there was something else inside of me that wanted to reveal the truth of who I was and not who I thought I had to be. And from the outside, it looked like discipline, or it looked like, oh, she's really working hard, which I was. But I was running through this hurdle of chasing and trying to be something, trying to uphold that. And I was tiring. And I saw the calamity in my life that made me fall to my knees and say, this tug that I've been feeling inside of me for a while now, I see what it's produced in my life. And God, can you show me? Can you help me? From the outside, it looked like discipline. But it wasn't until that pause that I recognized that this identity or this how I'm showing up, this ain't it. It was a sense of survival. The cost of living in survival identity. I don't even think we know what it is sometimes. Survival identity will oftentimes keep you in a state of missing true life. It will keep you in a whirlwind of discontentment with alignment and with your soul. When you haven't had a moment to pause, I've had the ability and the amazing opportunity to have life present something else different to me. My kids say, Mom, when you experience pain, you push through it. And when I experience pain, I feel it. But it was the opportunity that I had in my life to say something is off. And in that dark place that I was in, that's where I found the light. In that pain in my life, it caused me to sit with myself and say, something has to change. God, you got to show me and help me. I didn't want really the things in my life to change as much as I wanted me to change. I knew that there was something inside of me that needed help, that needed something. And I knew that God could help me. I knew that the way in which I was showing up wasn't it. And so I took the leap. I took the leap to search within, and I haven't stopped ever since. Okay, so hey everybody, I decided to stop here and to allow you to chew on what I shared with you because I want to be able
I've been on the journey for 10 years. So um, it is the message that I share is really to help you. A lot of people don't have the opportunity that I had of sitting with oneself for as long as I did. Some people don't have that pause moment in that journey of longevity that I did. And so what I share is deep and in depth, but I wanted to be able to, I wanted to be to whereby it is so it can be palatable and so that you can understand what I'm conveying and really what God might reveal within you, the answers that God wants to reveal in you as it relates to your true identity in God and not the identity that I shared with you in the recording. And so take this time to reflect and think on, what was shared, what resonated with you, maybe what questions came to you during that time. And I will move further to the next portion of the podcast. But it's my prayer that, we all become in alignment with God and that identity and what that means. I know I've been called to this because this is something that does not, it keeps circling back. It keeps circling around. It keeps tugging at my heart. And so therefore I respond out of that conviction. So that's all I have for right now. I will post the rest of the content soon, but take care and have a good